அன்பார்ந்த மாணவர்களே, இந்த வீடியோவில் 12ஆம் வகுப்புக்குரிய வேதியியல் பாடத்தில் யூனிட் 7 கெமிக்கல் கைனெடிக்ஸ் என்ற பாடத்தில் ஃபேக்டர்ஸ் அஃபெக்டிங் ரியாக்ஷன் ரேட் என்ற பகுதியை பார்க்க உள்ளோம். First, what are the factors which affect the rate of reaction? There are 5 factors which affect rate of reaction, namely nature and state of the reactant, concentration of reactant, surface area of the reactant, temperature of the reaction, presence of catalyst. Now let us study one by one in detail. First, the nature and state of a reactant. The rate of reaction involving breakage of some bonds from the reactants and new bonds are formed to form the product. So, it depends upon the ease of break of the reactant, the bonds in the reactants. Okay, for example, let us take already we studied the titration between potassium permanganate and ferrous ammonium sulfate. In this reaction, potassium permanganate oxidizes ferrous ion into ferric ion rapidly. At the same time, the titration between oxalic acid and potassium permanganate is very slow. Even at room temperature, the reaction cannot take place at when the when the reactive mixture is heated to about 60 degrees Celsius, then only the reaction takes place. Okay, so the oxidation of oxalate ion is difficult and the rate is very slow on comparison with the oxidation of ferrous ion into ferric ion. This is about the nature of the reactant. Then state of reactant. Generally, the reactants involving gas phase or gases can react very rapidly. Then the reaction between solid and solid, solid and liquid, solid and gas. So gas in gas reaction is very rapid. Okay. Now let us take one example. You see the action of sodium with reaction of sodium with iodine vapor. The reaction is rapid. Okay, more fast than the reaction of solid sodium with solid iodine. Okay, reaction between solid iodine and solid sodium is very slow. At the same time, reaction of solid sodium with vapor, which one iodine vapor is rapid. Okay, another example you see, when we mix, that means the reaction we studied in class 11, salt analysis. Okay, when colorless solution of potassium iodide is mixed with colorless solution of silver nitrate, then immediately, as soon as the two solutions are mixed, immediately we will get yellow colored precipitate. Okay. At the same time, if we mix silver nitrate, solid silver nitrate with the potassium iodide, the reaction takes place very slowly. Okay. Now you see here the fact is affecting reaction rate. The rate of the reaction is affected by the following factors. 2 more questions they may ask. What are the factors affecting reaction rate? Then these are the answer. Okay. Nature and state of reactant, concentration of the reactant, surface area of the reactant, temperature of the reaction, presence of catalyst. First about nature and state of reactant. We know that a chemical reaction involves breaking of certain existing bonds of the reactant and forming new bonds, which leads to the product. The net energy involved in this process is dependent on the nature of the reactant, and hence the rates are different for different reactants. Let us compare the following two reactions that you carried out in volumetric analysis. First one, redox reaction between ferrous ammonium sulfate and potassium permanganate. Second one, redox reaction between oxalic acid and potassium permanganate. The oxidation of oxalate ion by potassium permanganate is relatively slow compared to the reaction between potassium permanganate and ferrous ion. In this, in fact, heating is required for reaction between potassium permanganate and oxalate ion and is carried out at around 60 degrees C. Okay, the physical state of reactant also plays an important role to influence the rate of reactions. Gas phase reactions are faster as compared to the reactions involving solid and liquid reactants. For example, reaction of sodium metal with iodine vapors is faster than the reaction between solid sodium and solid iodine. Okay, another example you see. Let us consider another example that you carried out in inorganic qualitative analysis of lead salt. If you mix the aqueous solution of colorless potassium iodide with the colorless solution of lead nitrate, precipitation of yellow lead iodide takes place instantaneously, whereas if you mix the solid lead nitrate with the solid potassium iodide, yellow coloration will appear slowly. And then the next one, concentration of reactants. Concentration of reactants. Okay. Generally, the rate of reaction depends upon the concentration of reactants. According to collision theory, we studied the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the number of collisions or rate of collisions. Okay, and hence the number of collisions increases when the concentration increases. So rate of reaction also increases. Okay, now let us see. The concentration of reactants. This is one of the book bag question also. Okay, question number 21. That answer is also found here. You see, the rate of reaction increases with the increase in the concentration of reactants. The effect of concentration is explained on the basis of collision theory of reaction rates. According to this theory, rate of reaction depends upon the number of collision between reacting molecules. Higher the concentration, greater is the possibility of collision and hence the reaction rate. One activity is given. Take 3 conical flasks, label them as A, B, and C. Using burette, add 10, 20, and 40 ml of 0.1 m sodium thiosulfate solution to the flask A, B, and C respectively. Okay. Then add 40, 30, and 10 ml of distilled water to the respective flask so that volume of solution in each flask is 50. So in the first test tube or first flask, you see 10 ml of solution and 40 ml of water. The second, you see second flask, 20 ml of solution and 30 ml of water. The third one, 40 ml of solution and 10 ml of water. So the concentration in flask A is very less, B little bit higher, C is maximum. Okay. And then, okay, this one we studied. Then you see, add 10 ml of 1 m hydrochloric acid to the conical flask A. Start the stopwatch when half of HCl has been added. Shake the content carefully and place it on the tile when with a cross mark as shown in figure. This is figure, you see one cross mark is there. Above the cross mark we place a conical flask. Okay. When we add sodium thiosulfate solution, it is colorless. Okay, then water is also added, so it becomes colorless. So when we see from the top, we are able to see the cross mark in the tile. Okay. Then you see, observe the conical flask from the top and stop the stopwatch when the cross mark just becomes invisible. Okay. After adding HCl, shake the content carefully and place it on the tile with the cross mark as shown in figure. Okay. Observe the conical flask from top and stop the stopwatch when cross mark just becomes invisible. That means a white colored precipitate will start to form. Okay. When the concentration of precipitate approach a particular level, then the cross mark in the tile is unable to see. It becomes invisible. Okay. Then at that time we have to stop the stopwatch and note the time. Okay. Repeat the same experiment with flask B and C. Okay. We can observe that in flask C, the cross mark can become invisible rapidly. Okay, because it is a more concentration solution. Okay, and you see the observed readings we can mark in the tabular column. Okay, you see flask A, B, C, volume of sodium thiosulfate solution 10, 20, 40, volume of water 40, 30, 10. These two, sum of these two value becomes 50. Okay, then strength of sodium thiosulfate solution. Strength, how much you see? Initial volume, you see 10 ml, and its concentration is 0.1 m. Okay, the product becomes 10 into 0.1, that is 1, divided by final volume. Final volume is 50. 10 plus 40, 50. Okay, so 1 by 50 we will get. 1 by 50 is 0.02. Okay, for the second case, initial volume is 20 ml, initial concentration 0.1 m. These two product is 20 into 0.1, 2 we will get, divided by the final volume 50. So 2 by 50, we will get this one. Similarly here, this one, we will get 0.08. Try a graph between 1 by T versus concentration of sodium thiosulfate. A graph like the following one is obtained. Like this, we will get a straight line graph. Okay, here along the y-axis we plot 1 by T. X-axis concentration in molarity. Okay, 1 by T is the direct measure of the rate of reaction, and therefore the increase in the concentration of reactant, that is sodium thiosulfate, increases the rate. Then effective surface area of the reactant. In heterogeneous reactions, the surface area of the solid reactants play an important role in deciding the rate. Okay, in the homogeneous reaction, the surface area of the reactant have no effect. But in the case of heterogeneous reaction, the rate of reaction depends upon the surface area of the reactant. Okay, for a given mass of reaction, when the particle size decreases, surface area increases. Increase in surface area of reactant leads to more collisions per liter per second, and hence rate of reaction is increased. For example, powdered calcium carbonate reacts much faster with dilute HCl than with the same mass of calcium carbonate as marble. Activity. A known mass of marble chips are taken in a flask and a known volume of dilute HCl is added to the content. A stop clock is started when half the volume of HCl is added. The mass is noted after regular intervals until the reaction is complete. Same experiment is repeated with the same mass of powdered marble chips, and the observations are recorded. The reaction you see calcium carbonate plus HCl. Now what will happen? You see this two hydrogen combines with CO3 to form carbonic acid H2CO3. It is unstable. It decomposes to form carbon dioxide and water. Okay. Then the remaining here calcium is there, which combines with the 2 chlorine to form calcium chloride. Okay. Here calcium carbonate is solid phase. HCl is in aqueous solution. Calcium chloride form also dissolved in water. So aqueous, water in liquid state, carbon dioxide is gaseous state. Since carbon dioxide escape during the reaction, the mass of the flask get lighter. Mass will decrease as the reaction proceeds. Okay. So by measuring the flask, that means measuring the mass of the flask, we can follow the rate of the reaction. A plot of loss in mass versus time is drawn, and it looks like the one as shown below, just like a figure we will get. So this is decrease in mass, loss in mass we can plot along the y-axis, then time along the x-axis. You see, when we use powdered marble, okay, powdered marble chips, the decrease in mass is rapid, higher at lower time. You see, okay, rapidly the mass will decrease. Okay, then finally, that means the finishing stage, both have the same place only. Okay, the finishing stage. Then for the powdered marble chips, the reaction is completed in less time. That is, rate of reaction is increased when the surface area of a solid reactant is increased. Okay. Then effect of presence of catalyst. Already we studied, if we use a catalyst, then activation energy will decrease. Okay, you see, this is the reaction pathway if the catalyst is not used. If we use a catalyst, then the energy barrier, height of energy barrier will decrease. That means the activation energy decrease. So this is the reaction coordinate now. Reaction coordinate. Okay, you see now. So, so far we have learned that rate of reaction can be increased to certain extent by increasing the concentration, temperature, and surface area of reactant. However, significant changes in the changes in the reaction can be brought out by the addition of a substance called catalyst. Okay, a catalyst is a substance which alters the rate of reaction without itself undergoing any permanent chemical change. So catalyst is a substance which alter the rate of reaction, alter, that means it may increase or decrease. Okay, in most of the cases, the catalyst can increase the rate of reaction. In rare case, it may decrease the rate of reaction also. Okay, they may participate in the reaction, but again regenerated. Sometimes, in some cases, it participated in the reaction, but if it participated in the reaction, then it is regenerated again, and the end of the end of the reaction. Okay, at the end of the reaction, the catalyst is regenerated. In the presence of a catalyst, the energy activation is lowered, and hence greater number of molecules can cross the energy barrier and change over the products, thereby increasing the rate of the reaction. Then on activity, take two test tubes and label them as A and B. Add 7 ml of 0.1 m, 0.1 n oxalic acid solution in both the test tube. We can take 7 ml of 0.1 n oxalic acid solution, then 5 ml of 0.1 n potassium permanganate solution, and 5 ml of 2 n dilute nitric acid. Okay, dilute sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid in both the test tube. In both the test tube, we can take what are they? 7 ml of oxalic acid solution, 5 ml of potassium permanganate solution, then 5 ml of 2N dilute sulfuric acid solution. Okay, the color of the solution is pink in both the test tube A and B. The color is pink. Now add few crystals of manganese sulfate to the content in the test tube A. In test tube A, we can add a few crystals of manganese sulfate. Manganese sulfate we can add. The pink color fades up and disappears. The pink color will first degree fades, then it disappears. Okay, in this case, manganese sulfate acts as catalyst and increases the rate of reaction of oxalate ion by permanganate ion. Then chemical kinetics in pharmaceuticals. Chemical kinetics has many applications in the field of pharmaceuticals. Okay, it is used to study lifetime and bioavailability of drugs within the body, and this branch of study is called pharmacokinetics. Doctors usually prescribe drugs to be taken at different times of the day. That is, some drugs are to be taken twice a day, while others are taken 3 times a day or just once a day. Pharmacokinetics studies is used to determine the prescription, that is dosage and frequency. For example, paracetamol is a well-known antipyretic and analgesic. Okay, paracetamol is well-known antipyretic. That means it reduces the body temperature, and analgesic, painkiller also. Okay, that is prescribed in case of fever and body pain. Pharmacokinetic studies showed that paracetamol has a half-life of 2.5 hours within the body. That is, plasma concentration of drug is half after 2.5 hours. After 10 hours, that means 4 half-lives, only 6.25% of drug remains. Based on such studies, the dosage and frequency will be decided. In case of paracetamol, it is usually prescribed to take once in 6 hours, depending upon the conditions. அன்பார்ந்த மாணவர்களே, இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடித்திருந்தால் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் செய்யுங்கள், லைக் செய்யுங்கள், ஷேர் செய்யுங்கள். திரையில் தோன்றும் லிங்கை பயன்படுத்தி +2 கெமிஸ்ட்ரியில் உள்ள வீடியோக்கள் அனைத்தையும் பார்வையிடலாம். நன்றி.